Hey Gunslinger Nation, welcome back. Look, I've been avoiding talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows as much as possible, not because I didn't know what was going on, but because I already knew exactly what this game was going to be before it even came out. Now that the game is here, it's worse than I thought. I wanted an Assassin's Creed game in feudal Japan to be something special, something that actually respected the history and setting. Instead, what we got was a DEI checklist disguised as a game. And behind all the marketing hype, Ubisoft is scrambling to save face because this game is tanking. So yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it, but at this point I have to. Let's start with the biggest historical rewrite in the game, Yasuke. Yes, he was a real person. Yes, he was a retainer to Oda Nobunaga. But he was not a samurai. No, he was not a samurai. In real history, Yasuke was a slave brought to Japan in the late 1500s. Nobunaga made him a retainer, not a warrior, not a leader, and definitely not a samurai. There's zero historical evidence he ever held any military rank, but in AC Shadows, he's one of the top two main protagonists, wielding a katana, roaming Japan freely, and slaughtering native samurai. That would have never happened. If a foreigner in feudal Japan, even in Nobunaga's service, went around killing native Japanese people, the consequences would have been instant and brutal. He would have been executed immediately. No trial, no discussion. Japan in this era had a strict caste system, and a foreigner killing a samurai or any Japanese person without Nobunaga's direct orders would have been unforgivable of offense. Even worse, any crime Yasuke committed would reflect directly on Nobunaga's honor. Nobunaga was calculating and strategic. He wasn't about to let a foreign retainer go rogue and start slaughtering his own people. The second Yasuke stepped out of line, Nobunaga himself would have ordered his death. And at absolute best, if Nobunaga wanted to avoid dishonor, Yasuke would have been exiled from Japan entirely. But in reality, the moment he crossed that line, he was dead. And then we get to the next ridiculous Ubisoft rewrite, Yasuke having an affair with Nobunaga's sister. Ubisoft wants us to believe that Yasuke can sleep with Nobunaga's sister, Oichi, a woman historically known for her beauty, honor, and loyalty, all while she's married to another man. Let's be clear. If Yasuke was caught with Nobunaga's sister, it would have been an automatic death sentence. This isn't modern day Western romance. This is feudal Japan where family honor was everything. And in this area, a married woman having an affair was one of the greatest disgraces possible. Not only would Yasuke be executed on the spot, but Oichi would have been killed as well, either by her own family to preserve their honor or by her husband's clan. There's zero chance Nobunaga would have allowed this. He was ruthless, and his sister's marriage was a political alliance. Yasuke would have been beheaded the second anyone found out. And yet Ubisoft, in their infinite wisdom, decided this was a great idea for a romance plotline. Now, if you think the historical rewrites are bad, wait until you hear how bad Ubisoft disrespected Japan's culture. So badly that even the Japanese government had to get involved. Originally, Ubisoft thought it would be a great idea to let you destroy Shinto shrines and climb sacred torii gates. If you know anything about Japan, you know this is a massive crime. Shinto shrines are sacred places of worship. Destroying one is unthinkable. And the torii gates, those aren't just obstacles to climb on for fun. They're spiritual symbols. The backlash was so bad that Ubisoft had to patch this out on day one. Let that sink in. The Japanese government and their own player base were so disgusted that they were forced to scramble to remove content at launch. And somehow it gets worse. Ubisoft couldn't even get Japan's geography or seasons right. They have cherry blossoms and rice harvest happening at the same time, which is literally impossible because those take place in completely different seasons. They put torii gates at the entrance to villages, which doesn't happen in Japan, and for some reason they threw Chinese architecture and Chinese writing in because I guess they thought Asia is all the same and didn't expect anyone to notice. The game doesn't even feel like feudal Japan. It feels like a westernized, DEI-friendly theme park version of Japan, built by people who didn't bother to fact-check the basics. So no, I'm not playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I don't care how good the graphics are. I don't care how cool the combat is. Ubisoft has shown they don't care about history, immersion, or even their own franchise anymore. And if they don't care, why should I? I'm just blown away at how bad this has gotten. To me, the last good Assassin's Creed game was Odyssey. So I'm curious, what do you think? Has Ubisoft completely lost its way, or do you think Assassin's Creed Shadows is worth playing? I have seen some gameplay, and I do admit that playing as Nawe looked interesting. But the overall game, I'm just not interested. But I'm curious, what do you think? Drop a comment and let me know. If you're tired of companies like Ubisoft ruining beloved franchises, hit that like button and subscribe because I will keep calling it like I see it. That's it for me. I'll see y'all next time.